You don't normally get this much 49ers news in the dead of the offseason, but from the home of the Commodores, we've got a boatload of it. And, of course, an epic interview with Mac Jones.
So I just did just straightened up, just dead bodied it.
And then George put it on his Instagram and it went viral.
Yeah, thanks, George.
Yeah, what does your mom think of your summer haircut?
Oh, wow. She likes it, actually. At first, she hated it. I had to convince her. I started to grow it out more. It's kind of in the awkward stage, so bear with me, people. We'll figure it out. Awesome. Good to see you, David.
And yes, Mac is fully healthy, throwing the football after not throwing during 49ers OTAs due to a sore shoulder. And we got Brock Purdy, Kyle Juszczyk, and of course, George Kittle, too.
How are you feeling, and are you on track for week one still?
Definitely on track. I have a chance. Like, nothing's 100% certain, but I haven't taken a step back. Nothing's bad has happened, knock on so much wood. But we're slowly getting better. That's all I can ask for. We're pushing it as hard as I can, just without being an idiot.
Also, a touchdown pass from Brock Purdy to Dallas Clark. Where else can you get that besides tight end you? But yes, the day after meeting Baby Lombardi, George Kittle did look great on this field. He obviously still is limited, just crossed 16 miles an hour running. He's going to want to increase that speed by the time that the 49ers season rolls along, but George is optimistic that he can indeed be back very, very early in 2026. The day started in the classroom. It is tight end university after all, and George Kittle was the professor. Used some 49ers teach tape, over 90 tight ends in attendance. This is the biggest the tight end U has ever been. They actually moved inside the stadium this time. Yes, this is Vanderbilt Stadium here in Nashville. Brock Purdy recently moved to the area. George Kittle's been trying to get him to become tight end U's quarterback, or one of the quarterbacks, for quite some time. This was the inaugural season of Purdy at tight end U, and he mentioned that the move to Nashville, a lot of what was behind it was the opportunity to train with George in the off seasons.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was a huge reason why, we came out here. Obviously, George, but also the hub of guys that he's, built up with training out at his barn on his field, and then specifically throwing to him, like he's my tight end. So for us to have that chemistry all off season, rolling into camp, I thought, last year, going into the season, like we were hitting it off really well. So we're just going to continue to try to do that.
A lot of cool 49ers quarterback connections. We saw backups from the entirety of the Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch era serve as quarterbacks today, in addition, obviously, to Brock Purdy, the starter, but Brock began as a backup. But you saw the current backup, Mac Jones, more of his interview in a little bit. You saw Brandon Allen, who was with the 49ers a couple seasons ago, Nick Mullins, and C.J. Beathard, two former 49ers backups. C.J. lives in this Nashville area. Another cool connection, Shane Wallen on the 49ers training staff back in 2018. Then he left to the MLB, the Cubs, and the Detroit Tigers. Now he's running his own independent shop. He's here in Nashville, and he is working with Brock Purdy. So we got to see an old friend, Shane Wallen, out on the field. As I said, year 6 of tight end U, and even Kyle Juszczyk, the fullback, invited this time. And there's so much multi-positional versatility. The cross-training is at an all-time high. You see Kyle Juszczyk actually line up at a tight end position so often. So it was good to have him here and to catch up with him over the course of the afternoon.
What did it take to make it to tight end U?
It's funny. Everyone's like, oh, you must be so happy, like George finally invited you to tight end U. Kinda. The way it was presented to me is George said, hey, Travis would love if you would teach a fullback class at tight end U. So did Travis invite me or did George invite me? Doesn't matter. I was excited to finally be out here. It's really cool to hang out with these guys, and there's so much overlap between what I do and what tight ends do, so it just makes sense.
You take about 10 to 15 snaps a year outside wide receiver. I don't even know how many at tight end, but it's got to be over 100, right?
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Given the versatility that you guys run specifically with the 49ers, it's kind of interchangeable skill sets. Right?
Absolutely. I mean, and now it's gotten to the point where, like, for all of these OTAs, I met with the tight ends. because there's just so much overlap, and I can learn from what they're being taught. They can learn from what I've been taught from the running back room with Bobby T. So it really is, merging worlds, and you're seeing so much around the league where, yeah, maybe people don't have fullbacks, but they have tight ends that play that fullback position. So it just makes sense that we're all work together.
Year 10 for you. You're the longest tenured 49er, and you beat George because he was drafted and you signed in March.
Yep.
Right? So anyway, George said that you guys didn't become close until probably 2018. He was a rookie in 2017. Do you remember your first interactions with him and how that kind of blossomed in the early years?
It's funny, I don't know if I remember it specifically, but he always tells this story of, I guess, we were on the practice field his rookie year, and I remember we were in I remember a specific play. We were in the red zone. He was running like this fade, and he jumped so high, and he caught this ball with one hand, and I was really impressed. Like, rookie tight end, looked super athletic, could catch the ball, and apparently, I don't remember this part, he came over, and I told him that. I'm like, hey, great route. And I didn't even mean anything by it. I'm like, what round did you get drafted? He's like, oh, 5th round. And I guess I was like, okay, cool. I was drafted in the 4th round. And I didn't mean it as a big bro moment, hey, cool, good job, and I got drafted before you. But he always likes to remind me of that story. Questionable if it really happened, but it might have.
So he thought you were big leaguing him at the very start, and maybe that's why the invite was delayed.
Exactly. That's why there's the delay for our friendship.
A lot of really, really good teams, good offenses that you've been on with George. Looking at this season after the pickups, now you've got an X-wide receiver who's going to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
They drafted a receiver who could probably play the X2 in Dejon Stribling. Christian Kirk, who you played against, is there. Just specifically given how much the receiver position has upgraded, what do you think this offense can do in 2026?
I truly, truly think the sky's the limit. I am so excited about those additions. Mike Evans, I really think he's like no one we've had before. He is so polished, has been so dominant, and the few practices that we've had him on the field is a true difference maker. And I think it's one that not a lot about it is being talked about, but come season time, people are going to really see what a difference this guy can make, because he is a true X receiver that can be singled out by himself, run individual routes, and win against anybody. And then Stribling, I've been so impressed with just how explosive he is and what a big body he is and how intentional he is and how hard he wants to get involved in the run game. So for all the success that we had last year with all those injuries, everything that was stacked against us, quarterbacks moving in and out, and we were still, I believe, a top 5 offense. I think if everybody's healthy and those additions, the sky truly is the limit for us.
The explosives can be back.
And the explosives can return. That's what we were missing last year, were the explosive plays, and I think we'll have that with Stribling, with Mike Evans, with Christian Kirk, and with Kalen Black. I love what I've seen from him. He seems extremely explosive, a guy that can hit home runs.
And yes, Brock Purdy was throwing bullets. Here's the full interview with Brock here from tight end U.
George finally got you out here?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's been hounding me for, I think, 4 years now. So to be able to come out, throw the ball around, it's going to be fun.
George seems like the ultimate peer pressure master, based on what I gather.
Yeah, it's he always pushes, fear on missing out. Dude, it's going to be fun. It's going to be this and that. And all the things that I've done for you, he puts you in a corner, makes you feel small in a good way, and it's fun. When you get out here, it's worth it.
You're out here in the Nashville area. How much work can you end up doing at the barn with him, and how much route running stuff can you guys get done together?
Yeah, I think that was a huge reason why, we came out here. Obviously, George, but also the hub of guys that he's built up with training out at his barn on his field, and then specifically throwing to him he's my tight end. So for us to have that chemistry all off season, rolling into camp, I thought last year going into the season we were hitting it off really well. So we're just gonna continue to try to do that.
Who have you gotten to work with this off season? I know you got some work in with Mike Evans, but have you been able to have some of those summits this off season with your receivers?
Not yet. We just got out, a couple weeks ago, but we're gonna have some guys, come together and get some work in and everything. Obviously, new guys. We want to get the chemistry rolling. Thought we did a good job with that at OTAs, but yeah, to answer your question, we're going in.
Biggest thing you've learned from Mike Evans so far?
Extremely smart, and I feel like overthrowing him isn't really a thing. We saw so many catches in OTAs where he just got up with his length and the radius that he has. He's unique. He's a Hall of Famer. And so, yeah.
Marco's got one.
Favorite part about being a girl dad?
Favorite part about being a girl dad? I don't know. There's so many good things. She's growing so fast, but, like, just holding her and making her laugh, and then when she, like, pushes off and looks at me and smiles, like, I'm serious. There's nothing better. So.
And, of course, I promised you the Mac Jones interview. Well, he's entertaining as always.
How you doing?
Good. How are you? Good summer?
Very good summer. Very good summer. How about yours?
Pretty good. Just been in San Francisco hanging out, training and stuff. So.
You've been in Cabo too. There's an iconic diving board shot. I need to know the background on it.
Yeah. So I wasn't gonna jump in. It was a little chilly, and then George and Tonjes were like, "You have to do it. You got to start this off." So I'm like, "If you guys want me to jump, I'll jump." And I can't do a flip. I don't want to get hurt. So I just did just straightened up, just dead bodied it.
And then George put it on his Instagram and it went viral.
Yeah, thanks, George.
There's also something involving like a gong, like you.
Oh yeah,
that was cool too.
Yeah, so that's Dieter's house, and he's the man. He's involved with the 49ers, but he's one of our friends, and he has this gong with the ice shot. I wasn't gonna do it, and again, George is like, "You got to do it." So I'm like, "All right." So I caught it, catched it because I wanted to see like how much it weighed and stuff, and then ripped it. So that's the iconic video.
You built a good bond, it seems, with the locker room. How happy are you that no trade, you're back in place with the 49ers this year?
Oh, it's awesome. I think the guys on the team are awesome. The coaches, support staff, EQ, everybody. And we're all friends. It's a big family. So if you can be around family, might as well stick around. But you know how this business goes. We'll see.
The 49ers loaded up this season for that offense. Mike Evans is there now, and obviously you're going to hope for better health this year. What do you think this offense can do?
It's awesome, man. I think Brock's done a great job this offseason, just building with the new guys. I didn't practice much, but I got to see it all, and Mike Evans making plays. A lot of guys that are new, dribbling. So I'm excited. We know we got great coaches and players. We just got to be healthy, but if not, we'll figure it out. I feel like that's what we can do.
Margo, you have one for Mac?
Yeah, what does your mom think of your summer haircut?
Oh, wow. She likes it, actually. At first, she hated it. I had to convince her. I started to grow it out more. It's kind of in the awkward stage, so bear with me, people. We'll figure it out. Awesome. Good to see you, David.
And it would not be a proper tight end U without hearing from George Kittle himself, who started this event in 2021 at a local high school. Co-founders, Travis Kelce, obviously very famous, and Greg Olsen, one of the best broadcasters that there is, and obviously a grade A tight end back in his playing days. They got some good work in here on the Vanderbilt field.
How long did it take to get Juszczyk out here? Like, how long was that a conversation over the past few years?
Honestly, last year was the first time we asked him, and I'm ashamed it was Travis's idea to invite Juice. But Juice didn't want to come because I didn't invite him, so he was playing hard to get. But this year, I asked him probably during the season last year, I said, "Hey, I need you," and he's been really excited about it. We were going through the film together, what plays I like, what plays he liked. It's been really fun to have him here. Just like I said, his perspective is just so unique, and I guess he's the best in the world who's ever done it. So it's good to hear it.
It's year 10 for both of you with the 49ers. So
pretty cool.
Pretty cool way to celebrate that. But when you look back, meeting Juice the first time, do you remember the first time that you met him in the building in 2017?
Yeah, we weren't really good friends until like 2018. It took a while. I had to earn his respect, which I respect from Juice. But he's been awesome the entire time. Honestly, my earliest memory of him is him telling me that I was doing a workout wrong in the weight room. I'll never forget it. Thanks, Juice. And I wasn't doing it wrong. You Harvard guys are just so despicable sometimes. But he's been awesome. And the cool thing is, too, he's only just gotten better the longer I've been around him. So that's pretty interesting.
Brock is here.
Yes.
How much did it take to get Brock to get out the tight end here?
I had to threaten to beat him up. But he's here. Mac Jones is here. We have all former Niners quarterbacks here today. And what a great group. They're having a fantastic time. Mac Jones is definitely leading the vibes. But Brandon Allen, Nick Mullins, they're striving for second place there.
And finally, how are you feeling? And are you on track for week 1 still?
Definitely on track. I have a chance. Nothing's 100% certain, but I haven't taken a step back. Nothing's bad has happened. Knock on so much wood. But we're slowly getting better. And that's all I can ask for. We're pushing it as hard as I can, just without being an idiot.
The best part of today might have been that we got a break from the excessive Nashville heat. Even some cloud cover right now, but it wasn't all too humid, wasn't all too hot. I think the most pleasant weather conditions that we've ever had at Tight End U. And I've always wanted to check out the newly remodeled Vanderbilt Stadium. Out in front of me, we got some luxury suites here now. There's an arms race in college football, and Vanderbilt's hosted Tight End U for a few years, but on the practice field, now we are out on the big boy field. And again, I think it's fitting. Tight End U's got to happen at an actual university. So Vanderbilt University, the host here in Nashville. But good news all around for the 49ers. George Kittle, we saw him a few months ago, or maybe a month and a half ago in Vegas, looking a little bit slim. He has re-added all the muscle he needs to add. Of course, we saw him moving very well. That video from Brad Graham, who did a great job covering this event as well. And now it's just a race against the clock. And the 49ers are going to be back out on their own practice field in about a month. Rookies report for San Francisco on July 18th to training camp, and veterans like George Kittle set to report on July 25th. So at that point, we'll see where George is at. I would guess he starts training camp on the PUP list, but he can be activated at any time, and they don't play a regular season game until September 11th in Australia. So this is our big late June / early July event. Tight End U from Nashville, getting bigger and bigger every year. This year we saw plenty of 49ers in attendance, including the QB himself, Brock Purdy, who looked sharp, and right into this end zone, he got to throw that touchdown pass to Dallas Clark. Only at Tight End U will you see a connection between a legendary player who's obviously already retired in Dallas Clark and a superstar quarterback like Brock Purdy. But George Kittle organized this back in 2021, and it has really turned into something with a life of its own. Signing off from Nashville. See you next time.